special beings of California. California is such a special place, you know, because it has, and this is something that I try to tell Californians, that people all over the world know this. But the way you think of like the Great Wall of China, or the way you think of Hawaii or somewhere like that, the people think of this world like that. There's an ecosystem here that's really precious and really amazing, and something like of the 5,000 plants here, like 50–60% of them are endemic here. They're just here, you know, nowhere else in the world. And we just have, I mean, you can go from the ocean all the way through the hills up into the mountains to one of the highest points in the continental USA, to down to one of the lowest points in the world, and dry, moist. We don't have tropical, but we have really a huge spectrum of different ecosystems, and they've created all these niches. And so it's wonderful to see this plant here, because it's in the Lauraceae family, which is the same family as the avocado, and we know how much we love avocados. And so this is a really exciting family. This is called the California bay. And you know about bay leaves. Well, this can be used in a very similar way to bay leaves. It's very strong. Have you smelled this one? Do you know this one?
Oh yeah.
Good.
It's the smell of my childhood.
Yeah, okay, right. And for me, I have that same kind of thing with the eucalyptus here. When I lived here as a child, and that one is, you talked about our own spiritual path and our inner journey, and that's how powerful smells are. When I was in Australia a year and a half ago, that's one of the things I really remember about Australia, is the smells were so distinctive, and of course that's where eucalyptus come from. This comes from here, this California bay. It goes all the way up into Oregon, and it's in the laurel family. And what's exciting is there's so few members of the laurel family. They're a tropical family like the avocado, and you notice we can grow avocados south of here, down in Santa Barbara, and actually Santa Cruz has some avocado trees, and actually right down here in Berkeley there's some avocado trees. And so, and people, I've met people who didn't even know they had an avocado growing in their backyard. It's really crazy. So this is in that same family, and it has that aromatic quality that you can use in these bay leaves. You can put into different kinds of stews and soups and things. But another really important thing about bay leaves is you can tape them into jars and help preserve food, because they inhibit the moth, you know, those India moths and different moths that come out in food. Well, if you put this into jars and tape them in there, that smell will drive away, not let any eggs hatch and things like that. So that's a nice preventative. We've really lost that skill of the strewn herbs and the preventative herbs and the extracts. We should be, you know, that's what a threshold is of a house. You know, that little wooden part that you step over, that used to hold the thresh in the house, and it would kind of stabilize you between the muddy outdoors and the thresh in the house. Well, what's thresh? We've even lost what thresh is. We think of it as dirty. Thresh is what keeps back disease. It's certain plants that you strew, that are strewn about the house, different kinds in different rooms. Some go in the bedroom, some go in the kitchen, some go in the hallway, and they help keep the bugs away. And this is a knowledge we need to be more in tune with. And these aromatic plants like this California bay are essential to that. So get to know this plant if you're from here. Wherever you are, you might have something in the Lauraceae family next to you, and you should go check it out. If you're in the east, you know sassafras, that's in this family, and there's lots of others. So get to know this one. It's really good, and at least make sure to trade and barter, and if you need to, buy these leaves, because they're important to have around. And interesting, another little tidbit about this particular family is that it has, if you sit here and you were to take a bunch of these leaves and just breathe them in and breathe them in and breathe them in for a few minutes, you would get this headache, this intense headache that lasts about 10 minutes or so. And it's actually used as a kind of healing. I haven't tried it myself, but I've heard other people that it worked for them, where you have a headache already, like a migraine or just some kind of headache that's really depleting you, and you've had it for a while. The idea here is it's called a counter irritant. You take it and you get this irritant by breathing this in, and you get this 10-minute headache. And then once that headache goes away from this, the hope is it will take away the other headache at the same time. Counter irritant. So, you know, it's not something you want to play with too much, but if you're feeling down, this might be something to try out. And then the last thing, of course, is what did it get to stop us here was the fruit. This is the fruit of this California bay. And what's really exciting is this seed right here, which is inside the fruit. Doesn't it look a little familiar? Those of you who are avocado eaters, doesn't it look like a little baby avocado seed? Well, this seed is edible, and you don't just eat it as a raw thing. You process it, and you can get this. I don't remember the exact process because I've done it twice, I think, but it's a leaching process, and then because it just kind of overwhelmed me, I think, in roasting. That's what I remember. So roasting, so maybe a slight leaching. Let me nibble a little bit. Remind me. So nibbling is really different than eating. Nibbling, I'm just holding it in the front of my mouth and letting my taste buds tell me, ooh, is there something in here to watch out for? And I'm not. I'm getting actually a pretty mild thing, given that it's so aromatic. And so this is a good food source. And when it's a good year for these, you can harvest a lot of them. So this is something we should be having in our wild food, our living food. The nuts of the California Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Tasty.